Constructive criticism. Constructive criticism. The topic for this unit is constructive criticism. By the end of this unit, we should be able to define criticism, constructive criticism, how to provide good and healthy constructive criticism. In other words, we should be able to enumerate steps to deliver constructive criticism. And finally, we should be able to give guidelines for the one being criticized to receive and handle constructive criticism. The first aspect, concept of constructive criticism. Constructive criticism can be defined as the process of providing objective and well-reasoned views involving both positive and negative comments about the work of others in a pleasant way without hurting the person being criticized. Constructive criticism, what is it? The process of providing objective and well-reasoned views involving both positive and negative comments, usually about the work of others, and in a pleasant way without hurting the person being criticized. So, when we say constructive criticism, it has elements of being objective, well-reasoned views. It has these components of being positive and negative comments, and it's about the work of others in such a manner that the individual wouldn't feel being hurt. What is criticism itself? In general, it is the practice of delivering evaluative judgment. Criticism is a practice of delivering evaluative judgment about the merits and shortcomings of something or someone in an analytical way. If we provide an evaluative judgment covering the merits and demerits of someone or something in an analytic way, we will simply say it is a form of criticism. This is unlike the orthodox usage of this term, where it simply intends to point out only errors or drawbacks. Criticism can also be explained as a positive way of appreciating a thing, behavior, or research work in a manner that provides an alternative approach that is more suitable to carry forward any of these. Now, how do we provide good and healthy criticism? Healthy and good constructive criticism. The underlying aim of constructive criticism is to point out the flaws in behavior and not personality. The main aim, goals, objective of constructive criticism is to point out the flaws in behavior and not in personality. So criticism should be delivered in such a way so that even the individual being criticized should not feel being humiliated or attacked. Rather, he or she should appreciate the suggestions provided to him by the critic in a friendly manner. Here are a few steps to deliver the constructive criticism in an appropriate way. 1. Take a positive start by appreciating the task well done and giving sincere compliments. 2. Specifically identify the issues with proper references and observations and mention the steps for making corrections as well as the desired result. 3. Remain focused on the current issue rather than mentioning any of the past disappointments. 4. While communicating, show concern towards the person being criticized by giving your own examples as a reference when you faced and overcame a similar issue. Number 5. Avoid using negative or accusatory tone, as it will definitely destroy the essence of constructive criticism. 6. Mention the suitable remedies that are appropriate to tackle the issues. 7. End in a positive manner by devising a plan of action and do follow up regularly after giving constructive criticism. Now, for the one being criticized, what guidelines should we give such that the person being criticized can receive and handle constructive criticism? Before responding to any kind of criticism, it is important to recognize that the underlying aim of criticism is to bring improvement. A few tips for handling the constructive criticism with grace are as follows. That is, you who is being criticized, note the following. 1. Value the constructive criticism as it may prove helpful in improving relationships and productivity level. 2. Take the information seriously by giving proper gestures to the critic. 3. Avoid defending yourself by counter-attacking the critic or dismissing the conversation involving criticism. 4. Accept the criticism being offered honestly and use the suggestions to improve your learning. 5. Do not respond immediately to a piece of critique and ask for a little time to reflect your opinion over it. 6. Even to some inappropriate piece of criticism, respond appropriately in order to reach an understanding solution or resolution. So far, we have defined the concept of constructive criticism as the process of providing objective and well-reasoned views involving both positive and negative comments about the work of others in a pleasant way without hurting the person being criticized. We also said that criticism itself, in general, is the practice of delivering evaluative judgment about the merits and demerit of something or someone in an analytic way. We mentioned various ways to provide good and healthy criticism. For example, we said take a positive start by appreciating the task, identify the issues with proper references and observation, and mention the steps for making correction. Remain focused on the current issue rather than mentioning any of the past disappointment, and many other ways. For the person being criticized, we also mentioned that the person should value the constructive criticism offered. It should take the information seriously by giving proper gestures to the critic. So avoid defending himself or herself by counter-attacking and many other steps. Thank you for listening.